AirDev's Leetcode series. We're going to start today with the first problem in Leetcode called TwoSum. The basic idea with TwoSum is to find two numbers in a list such that they add up to a specific target. If we cannot find two such numbers, we can return an empty list. I find it helpful here to go through the first example and figure it out as if you're doing this by hand. Not really thinking about code, but thinking, what would I do if I had to go through every number as pairs that sum up to a specific target? So in this case, I'm thinking about a bag of numbers where I keep track of the numbers I've seen and go through starting at the very first number in the index where I equals 0. And we're going to use I to keep track of the current index. And we're going to put this number in our magical bag. So here we see that our first number is 2. Next, we're going to ask ourselves, can this 2 plus a number in my bag sum to our target of 9? With basic math, we know that when we say A plus B equals C, it's the same as saying C minus B equals A, and that's what we're doing here. We're just rearranging the numbers. So, if it does exist, then we found a solution, and we can return the index of our current number and the index of that other number. Otherwise, if we haven't reached the end of our list, we're going to continue to search. If we're at the end of our list, we'll return an empty list as mentioned earlier. Now using the example given, we would say if 9 minus 2 exists in our bag, then we can return true. Here we see our bag is empty, so no, 9 minus 2 does not exist in our bag. We're going to add 2 into our bag, and then we'll continue. We're going to check the next number, which is 7, so 9 minus 7 is 2. Does 2 exist in our bag? It does, and now we can return the index of 2 and the index of 7. Alright, now that we have the general idea, we can start translating that to code. We'll start off with a basic for loop so that we can go through every number in the given num list. And we mentioned earlier that we want to keep track of every number in a bag. So there's a good thing, there's a data structure that's like a magic bag. It's called a set. However, this should have really been a map, aka another magic bag, as I initially thought we were returning just the nums and not the indexes, but we'll fix that later, it's no problem. I record these problems the first time I see them, so you can get a feel of what it's like to do it in real time and how you can go about figuring out your bugs and debugging them. Okay, so back to our for loop. As we said earlier, we'll check if our current num can sum to our target, and this can be done by seeing if the result of target minus current number, aka num of I, has been seen in our magic bag. Now, we can change our set to be a map. A map is like a set, except it contains a key and a value. In this instance, we want to return the indices of our TwoSum, so the key is the number and the value is the index. Since I'm using Python, it's called a dictionary here, but it works the same way. So you can see inside the if statement, we'll be returning a new list where we get the index of our difference and the index of our current number. Now, you see I made a typo in my if statement on line 16, so we'll need to fix that before we can run this program. But in the meantime, we can talk about runtime and space-time complexity. Now, you may have noticed that we're going to be going one by one, adding a number into our bag. If we go all the way to the end of our list, we'll be doing this n times, where n is the total amount of nums we've seen. This means that our runtime will be O of n. And since we'll be keeping each number in a bag, our bag will be the size of nums as well, so it'll take up O of n space. Cool. So now on the screen, you can see that I realized we're never adding anything to our map, so we need that before we can even check if the sum is in our bag. Again, we'll add the number as the key and the index as the value. This is why it's important to double check your code before you submit, so you'll catch all your typos and bugs first. I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you liked or didn't like, and what you want to see in the future. I'll continue to do more Leetcode problems for the series, and hope you have a great day.